This is the AI News Flash for August 9th, 3 p.m. UTC. First up, ratings agency Moody's has warned that the banking industry's push into AI is leaving lenders at the mercy of a handful of tech firms. Moody's says most financial firms now depend on a relatively small set of foundation model providers and cloud computing companies, and that this risks creating a systemic dependency. An outage at one major provider could spread quickly across customers and across sectors. The report also flags vendor dependence risk, warning that a set of dominant AI model and infrastructure providers could over time exert control over the price of AI services. Moody's adds that risks around data privacy, cybersecurity, fraud, and deposit flight all rise in parallel. In the United Kingdom, a Treasury Select Committee report in January found that 75% of city firms already use AI. Lloyds Banking Group is running a £13 billion AI investment strategy that includes £2 billion of cost cuts, and regulators are expected to sharpen their focus on third-party concentration. Second, research firm Bernstein forecasts that Nvidia's share of China's AI chip market will collapse from 40% to 8%. The projection has Nvidia's 40% share in 2025 falling to 8% in 2026. Huawei, by contrast, is expected to take roughly 50% before export controls. Nvidia held about 95% of the Chinese market. Behind the shift is Huawei's Ascend 950, which is viewed as comparable in performance to Nvidia's H200. Huawei has also announced large-scale AI clusters combining thousands of chips, though it has not publicly confirmed full-year production volumes. He Hui, director of semiconductor research at Omdia, said that China now believes in its own supply self-sufficiency. Even so, AI chip demand inside China continues to exceed available supply, and cutting-edge development there still depends on Nvidia hardware. Third, according to the Wall Street Journal, Apple has been testing memory chips from Chinese makers CXMT across product lines, including iPhones and MacBooks. The goal is to ease a component shortage fueled by the AI boom, and Apple held early talks with CXMT about supplying parts. CXMT is China's largest chip maker by market value, and the initial aim is to use its chips in some devices sold inside China. Apple is seeking approval from the White House before moving forward with any deal involving the Chinese firm. CXMT sits on a U.S. government blacklist, and Apple was reported in late June to have already requested permission to buy from it. Apple is raising prices on its products worldwide, a move it attributes to surging memory chip costs driven by heavy demand from AI companies. Laptop makers HP and Acer have also begun using CXMT memory in devices sold outside the United States, showing how the supply crunch is bending geopolitical lines. The fourth, More Threads, the GPU developer often called China's Nvidia alternative, has disclosed plans for a Hong Kong listing. The company posted first-half 2026 revenue of 1.736 billion yuan, up 147.42% from a year earlier. Gross profit crossed 989 million yuan, a gain of more than 103%, while net loss narrowed sharply to 11.6 million yuan from 270.9 million yuan a year ago. The main growth driver is mass production of its flagship MTT S5000, a full-function GPU that integrates training and inference. In March, the company also signed a smart computing cluster contract worth 660 million yuan. The Beijing-based firm says the Hong Kong offering is intended to deepen its internationalization strategy and attract strong research, development, and management talent. Its Shanghai Star Market debut saw shares surge 420% on day one, underlining the momentum behind China's homegrown GPU drive. Fifth, Harvard historian Jill Lepore says the tech industry is led by bad readers of science fiction who are undermining democracy. Lepore is also a New Yorker staff writer and a recent Pulitzer Prize winner for her history of the U.S. Constitution. Her remarks came in an interview on TechCrunch's Equity podcast. Her core argument is that private corporations have increasingly taken on the functions of the state, producing what she calls an artificial state, ruled by algorithms and machines. She says figures like Elon Musk and Sam Altman read science fiction as blueprints rather than as cautionary tales. On Musk specifically, she said the stuff he likes actually completely defeats and defies all of his political beliefs. Her forthcoming book, The Rise and Fall of the Artificial State, traces how technocratic philosophies evolved and how tech companies are absorbing governmental functions. That's all for this AI news flash.